What a brilliant start, but we got Mr. Schumacher got an awful start. And Aston gets into the lead and we got casting off that quick.
So much traffic up in front, but here comes Epic now pushing Tiger. Tiger goes defensive to the inside. Tiger on the inside. Epic will try to go round the outside. One corner to go. On the last lap, this is going to be insane. So here comes Dutchy as well. Tiger is going to look like it's going to win, but it's a drag race for seconds. And somehow,
He's got the DRS.
And here he goes then down this mini back straight. And now he's on the brake.
Pepperley now he's going to be looking for DRS here. There's 4 drivers going at it. Dirty Larry goes around the outside. Oh, let's have a look here. Oh, it's Pepperley's going around the outside. Oh, the inside. Gets on the inside line. Brilliantly done from the Mercedes driver. Wow.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another track guide here in Gran Turismo Sport, and yes, we are here in Francorchamps for the final race of the season here in the Group 2 cars. So yeah, a track that is very enjoyable, as we all know. We love it over in F1, and yeah, the last time I did this in a GT Sport was back in Season 1 actually, around Spa, and that was in the Group 3s, but this time we're in the Group 2s. As you can see, I'm running like a special gold and black livery. Now instead of the green and black, it's like a special livery that Toussaint made, obviously because me and him won the Constructors' Championship. But yeah, let's get straight into the track guide here for the final time here in Spa. Alright then, let's get underway already here in Spa. So through the bus stop, make sure you get a good exit out of the bus stop. You can drop to first if you need to, then short shift immediately to second, and away you go down to start the lap here. So down in towards turn 1, braking just after, you can brake on or just after the 100-meter board is where you want to start your braking. Braking pretty much in a straight line as you always do, then turning in, you can pretty much want to come all the way over this curb on the inside. Make sure you don't touch the wall, and it's as simple as, if you don't feel like you're getting a turn in, drop to first, but usually you don't need to for turn 1. You can just stay in second place. Make sure, now I'm going to say this again, I've said it for the past 3 tracks, but this track especially, it will kill the car. Do not touch that green AstroTurf. You can see it there on the exit of turn 1. It will pop up many times before, as I will explain. But that green AstroTurf there, do not touch it. If you run wide there, go wider onto the gravel, or just don't put the foot down. But yeah, you can run onto that curb, and obviously just make sure you're getting a good run, sticking close to this wall here, and then up Radio Rouge, which in these cars is actually flat out. As we go over the first curb here, you want to be hitting that there. Back again up the next part of the track, keeping on that curb over there. And now the good thing about this game is, as I'm going to go up into chase cam, you can cut about this much off of Radio Rouge. As long as you stay 2 wheels on the curb, you can cut that much across there, which is awesome. It's what I genuinely love about this game, is how the track limits are just so nice. So yeah, that's how much you can cut off Radio Rouge. It's flat out up here. You really don't need to worry about it too much. Obviously, when the tyre wears start to kick in, that's when it'll start to get a little uneasy. Once again, AstroTurf on the right there. Don't touch it. If you run wide, it's fine. There's tarmac on the outside. You can use the runoff. But just be careful not to put the foot down on that AstroTurf. As go down the main straight. Obviously, in F1, there would be DRS here. But obviously in these cars there isn't going to be. These are LLP2 cars. As down now towards the chicane here, braking just after the 100-meter board. You can brake just after the 100-meter board and just before the red and yellow curb there. So just around about here, because you see the board there just appearing. There it is. There's that board. So you're braking just about here. down into, I dropped a second here. Just be careful, make sure you start to use the curb here. Don't brake on the curb. That's something I noticed about this game, is braking on the curb. The car, obviously, it's a little bit more unbalanced. The car's not liking how rough the curb is, so it's losing a lot of that braking, a lot of that grip as well, and it's just not slowing down as much. So just make sure until you've got the car slowed down enough, then start to use that curb. Start to turn the car in. Now, something else about this track, which I will mention, is you'll see these little bollards on the inside with the sort of the greeny blue sort of like, it's not AstroTurf, it's like a bit of like almost like tarmac we just painted. You don't want to be touching that. It's very, very slippery, so make sure you're staying on the curb. If you run over here, this corner, it's fine. It's not really too much of an issue if you run over that there, but just try and avoid it as much as you can. Now, obviously, into the next corner here, staying in second. Do not touch that AstroTurf on the inside. You will spin. It's a killer. Again, the AstroTurf. Do not touch that there. Now, you're coming out of this corner here in second gear, shifting up to third here. Bring the car over to the left and then lift. You want a small lift as you come around this corner using that curb on the inside. Careful not to touch the bollards, and you can run all the way out wide here, all the way out there. That's not an issue. Bring the car back across as we go down into the hairpin. It's braking just as the curb starts on the left hand side, that yellow and red curb. You actually want to start braking into the corner, hitting the apex there, run out a little bit wide here, bring the car back in second, hit the apex again there on the right hand side, bring the car out here. Just make sure, once again, I'm going to look behind, look at that AstroTurf on that, well, what is on the right hand side now of your screen, but will be on the left when you go through the corner. Do not touch that AstroTurf again, as you always do not want to do on this track. So you're up into third here. Now it's just requires a lift through this corner. Obviously, make sure you can use the latter part of this curb. Obviously, just avoid the bollards in the first bit, but you can use the latter part of this curb here. Once again, bringing the car out to this curb. And again, don't touch the AstroTurf on the right-hand side. I feel like I repeat myself a lot, but there's AstroTurf everywhere on this track. Just do not touch it. You will spin the car. Now down into Pujon. So you just come through No Name there into Pujon. Pujon's a difficult one, really. It's one of those ones where you'll either go into it in 6th or 5th. I usually go into it in 5th. You want to start turning the car in around about now. You want to lift a tad on the brakes and a downshift going into Pujon. It's definitely not flat. It definitely isn't just a downshift or a lift. It's a full lift, a downshift, and then if you need a tad of brake, do it. If you're comfortable enough, you don't need to. Shifting down into 4th as you go through Pujon. The car would stay nice and hooked towards the curb on the inside. Don't touch that AstroTurf on the outside. You can bring the car out here, that's fine, just don't touch that AstroTurf. Bring the car back in again. You can actually touch the curb on the inside here, unlike you can in F1. The curb is a lot smaller and more realistic, and yeah, got a lot more grip there. Don't touch the AstroTurf on the right there either, because you will spin. Pujon is just complete death with the AstroTurf, really. It's just, you will spin in Pujon if you touch the AstroTurf. Here again, braking just after the 50-meter board, down into 3rd. Now you want to carry a lot of the speed in, so you actually don't want to go over towards the left here. You want to bring the car in early on the right-hand side, because if you bring the car in early on the right-hand side, use the curb to actually turn the car in there. And then once again here, just a lift needed through here. And then you can pretty much use the latter part of that curb. Once again here, bringing the car out to the right hand side. Do not touch the AstroTurf on that right hand side, because it is a killer. As we go down now towards this right-handers, we enter the final sector. As down into 2nd, you want to bring the car down into here. Once again, you can use a part of that curb. Just make sure you're not riding all the way over. It's very, very slippery. But you can use part of that curb on the inside. Bring the car out to the left here. Don't touch that AstroTurf on the left-hand side again. And also there's a gravel trap over there. And the thing with gravel traps in this game is the car will realistically get really sucked into the gravel trap, and it's quite difficult to get back out of it quickly. And it's quite difficult to actually stop the car from going into the wall. So just make sure that AstroTurf there is a bit of a killer, that one. So just make sure you're not touching the gravel trap or that AstroTurf. Obviously this bit's pretty simple through here, as don't touch that AstroTurf on the left hand side, but you shouldn't have to anyway. You won't go that far out. Following down the high speed final sector now, so it's going to be quite easy to follow a car through here and stay in the slipstream. Obviously bring the car out to the left, pull it back in nice and quickly here, stay off that AstroTurf on the right hand side there, as you've just gone through there. Bring the car over here, now down into the bus stop chicane, as you always do. You can actually, now you see, with this corner is, you want to be braking. It's not the 100-meter board. You want to be braking as I just move forward a little bit more. Braking just after that 150 board. So I think I've gone a little bit too far forward here, but I'll just reverse back up, just demonstrate to you. So I'm braking, so there's the 150. You can brake around about here for this corner. Obviously, you've carried so much speed through that section. You've hit maxing out the car almost. So you're carrying so much speed. So into the bus stop we go, braking in a straight line as much as you can. Then start to use that curb a little bit here if you need to. Down into second, through the first start of the bus stop. If you need to shift to first here to get the car turned in, if you need to shift to first for that corner, the start of the bus stop, do so. That will help the car turn in, but just make sure if you're shifting to first, compromise on the exit, short shift as you're coming out of this corner, because otherwise you will lose the rear of the car. And especially if you're going to put the power down nice and early, you're going to hit that AstroTurf on the right hand side again, which obviously you don't want to touch. So yeah, that's what you want to just make sure you're not doing that. Make sure you short shift, and then as always it is a run up to the line. And yeah, so that is a lap around the very long but fun Spa-Francorchamps, and now we're gonna get into the hot lap. There you have it, a lap around Spa-Francorchamps. And just a thing to note about if you're in the race, just be careful on the tyre wear. Obviously, when you're going up Radiona Rouge and through some of these corners, that a lot of them are high speed, medium speed, a couple of slow speed corners as well, obviously in the bus stop and turn 1. So just be careful. Obviously, the braking zones will change, and especially going up Radiona Rouge, it's going to become a lot more treacherous up there on the tyre wear. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining me on the track guide. Hope it's been helpful. I hope you all enjoyed, and make sure to tune in for next season of the GT Sport, because this is the final race of the season. Still a big championship over in Group 2, and obviously both Constructors and Drivers Championships have been wrapped up in the first group. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you for joining me throughout all of these track guides throughout the season, and I will see you all in the next season.